Welcome back. We're on a roll. We keep moving forward and we keep bringing interesting people on board. I have a couple of great things going today. First of all, we have a very interesting guest. We have a gentleman named Fasieh Mehta, who is the program manager at the National Incubation Center in Pakistan. And that is one of the most prolific incubators there is in country, very well funded, very well managed. And the second surprise we have is we thought we'd bring some color to the show. And today we have with us Zainab Ali as our co-host, who will be taking this forward with Fasieh. And with that, Zainab, please.
Hello, everybody. Glad you guys are here tuning in today. We're going to start talking to Fasieh here, who's going to tell us about the National Incubation Center. So welcome, Fasieh. We're happy to have you on the show and looking forward to talking with you. So let me get right into it. And why don't you tell us a little bit about the NIC and all the wonderful work that you guys do, and yeah, take it over.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you, Faruk. Thank you, Zainab. So yeah, I look after the National Incubation Center in Islamabad. And thank you, Faruk, for the kind words and explaining what NIC is. Beyond a space, I believe it's a great place, a great platform to add value to the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Pakistan. The entire startup innovation ecosystem can be traced back to around 10 years when the first incubator was launched. And I'm the co-founder of Plan 9, which was Pakistan's first attempt by the government to launch a technology incubator. That was the first one set up by the government around 8 years ago. Today, what I manage is a project funded by the Ministry of IT and Telecom through their ICT R&D fund, which is called Ignite. It's a very clever fund. All the telecom operators in the country, they contribute a percentage of their revenue to a big pool. So it's not taxpayers' money per se, but public money. The public is the custodian, the government. And they spend that for ICT R&D funding and for telecommunication infrastructure enhancement, especially in rural areas. So one of those investments comes to the NIC. I manage the NIC, which is based in Islamabad, which was the first one, and it's Pakistan's largest incubator. Now there are 5. There were 4 later on set up in each of the provincial capitals. And yeah, it's been a great experience so far. We are a public-private partnership, so it's funded by the public money. It's run by the private sector. I represent a company called Team Up, which has its roots actually in the corporate sector, over several decades of experiences of the management, and in partnership with Jazz, formerly known as Mobilink, as you might be aware, which is Pakistan's largest telecom operator with almost 63 million subscribers. Awesome. So yeah, that's how the NIC is structured. Yes.
Awesome. And Fasieh, you had some great initial slides. Can you jump into those and show us a little bit about the impact of what's going on with NIC? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, sure, Faruk. Yeah, so I do have a few slides about what NIC does. Let me just pull that out and share that with you. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant. So when we started, and this humble journey began around 3.5 years ago, this began around February 2017. Since then, what was just a space and a very robust space, which got an award actually for the best design incubation interior space in Asia Pacific. We got an award in 2018 in Bangkok. Became much more than that because of the human value, the human capital that was added on top of it. So, and this impact that you see, we're very humbled to share this. And this is in the very initial years right now. We have incubated 187 startups across 8 cohorts. Our typical cohort lasts for 12 months, right? And we incubate twice a year. This is like around 400 founders, around 25% of them are women entrepreneurs. But imagine this, the beauty. It's created close to 7,500 jobs. And that's a huge impact. And even the revenue they've generated, which is 1.23 billion, and investment commitment. And this investment commitment is those that is declared. And you can say this is around 1.3 billion if you also add the undeclared amount as well, undisclosed ones. So it's like already a 7x return on the money that we have spent so far on running the show. And this has been a very humbling journey. In terms of what we offer, so the base layer, this is a value pyramid. If I was to explain what NIC is to someone, is the creative co-working space, which has 24,000 square feet, very, gives you the Google Plex-like environment. And I'm not kidding, seeing is believing. It's a hidden gem in Islamabad. We attract close to 3,000 people a month, pre-COVID days, through those doors. So And that's not a shopping mall, right? That's a business incubation center. That tells you about the industrial commercial linkages and the exposure you get to meet people from all over the world from different walks of life. We have a very custom designed curriculum and we incubate startups at idea stages, at early stages, but also at the middle stages of growth and somewhat at the acceleration stage. Lots of mentorship coaching, design, marketing, finance, technology, user experience, and legal support is provided by our team members. And we are all about empowering and building communities, and of course, the access to investment grant opportunities. We're very proud to say the entire building is accessible for differently able people, because of which we have people who are quadriplegic, who are blind, who are deaf, and they're running successful business startups. The entire facility has high-speed internet access, creative co-working space, lots of cloud credits available. We have a small hardware lab with 3D printers and all, and we're very mompreneur friendly. We have a daycare center, because of which we have 5 mompreneurs, mothers who are doing a great job in raising a family, but why should they be worried when they're blessed with a kid? And that's the greatest gift of Almighty. How can it be a hindrance in pursuing your dreams? So
Bravo.
Why not?
That is excellent. So forward thinking, and definitely much.
Hence community building. So we are very close to our values, right? Because this is what we want to instill in these startups as they grow and become larger businesses. What values do they take with them? And that is the value of empathy, and we're chasing dreamers and builders. Only then we can collectively rise, and that's the vision: dream, build, and rise. You dream, we build, we all rise. Apart from that, around $1.3 million, or rather more than that right now, is the benefit that you get when you get enrolled into the Jazz Accelerate program, which is the acceleration program offered by the partner Jazz. Across all these companies that you see the logos of, we have good contracts with there. The journey's been very humbling. Less than 3% actually make it, so it's very, very competitive. 1,600 people applied in the last cohort, and only 24 made it. So yeah, this is now starting to happen, alhamdulillah. You'll see that our startups are making their mark across the world. We recently gave a presentation last year at the House of Commons in the British Parliament, and at various summits around the world. Lots of accolades. Our startups have been incubated and accelerated at Alchemist, at Y Combinator. They've been funded by lots of VCs in Singapore, in Kuwait, in Oman, in Europe. And this has started to happen, whether it is the 4YFN, the mobile actually GSMA Congress in Barcelona. And recently we have started we are now thinking of how we become the knowledge powerhouse. So how we become actually the thought leader in Pakistan when it comes to incubation. So we have been now publishing research. We recently published a report on the impact of COVID on Pakistani startups, which was conducted throughout Pakistan. Around 100 plus startups participated. We did an investor roundtable, which we had all the government stakeholders represented. We published certain white papers on it. We very actively write blogs, media coverage, lots of partnerships across the board with different organizations. This is the team that helps us run the show. So that's a very quick brief about what NIC does.
Yeah. Very inspiring, Fasieh. Yeah. This is awesome.
Yeah, excellent initiative, and definitely really impressive to see how many startups there are in Pakistan and how entrepreneurial people are, and groups like yours that are helping these startups. So, well, just one quick thing.
Yeah.
What I know you said it takes a lot to sort of be admitted into this program or become a cohort, right? How long is that journey usually? Like people, companies apply, or they apply and then it takes a year, or like what is that sort of time frame from start to
finish? So we typically open our applications around October, November, and around April. So we do inductions in January and July. This is a typical induction criteria. People apply online. We have a pretty lengthy form, pretty elaborate, in which we actually look up to lots of areas: innovativeness, actually scalability, sustainability, and most important, the founders, why they're doing what they're doing, why they're passionate about, what kind of problem they're solving. Is it a household problem? Is it a city problem? Is it a global problem, right? And what's the solution that makes them unique? Once they apply, there's a process, a 3-step process. You go through different stages, interviews, etc., and you pitch to a group of judges, which are from the industry. They're experts. And once then their final tally comes in, then we pick the top 40, and then we decide where we as an NIC can add value. So regardless of which stage you are at, whether it's a very, very, very raw idea, our focus is to graduate you at a positive delta. So if you were at an idea stage, ideally you should be at a problem solution fit stage or at a product market fit stage. And the ideal growth criteria would be to have a business model fit, which means you have consistent revenue coming in, you're consistently growing, and you are now ripe for investments to pour in.
That's awesome, Fasieh. This is really inspiring, and unfortunately, we'd love to spend a lot more time with you. You're so full of energy and knowledge around this sector. I think we're coming to the end of our time, and just the last quick question that we had is, what's the ask of the diaspora? How can we help?
So the diaspora has been very generous, and I believe the more the merrier. All the mentors that and the coaches who have been here at the NIC, most of them are from the diaspora.
Awesome.
We're probably the only incubator that doesn't have any agreement in terms of a monetary reward being given to them. Those who come here offer trainings or mentoring. So they're sharing their pearls of wisdom. We have a session called the Gurus at NIC, where people who have been there, done that, they come and they share their experiences of triumphs and failures. And we have been very proud and humble as well to host the who's who from the technology entrepreneurship landscape, especially the diaspora, who's sitting there in the valley or anywhere else for that matter. The diaspora can help in facilitating access to global markets for these startups. So wherever you are, you're listening, whether you're in the UK, you're in the US, you're Singapore, any other market, if you can help facilitate our startups, and not just NIC, any Pakistani startup, I'm there to help you, to link up, to give you any information, and to facilitate this interaction, actually. So one area where they can really help is in getting them access to the global market, which essentially means getting them in contracts, facilitating them and getting incorporated perhaps, or any other way. And the other part is in terms of a mentorship. And the third part is in terms of investments. Angel investment is the key right now in this ecosystem that's missing. Ventures come in when the funnel is prepped by angels. And if angels are not investing enough, the venture capitalists will not come in that much. Although VC funding has increased significantly in the past 5 years in Pakistan.
Wonderful. This is really great, Fasieh. Really appreciate having you on. This is super informative for us. Even, with now that I'm so far into TechShack, it's been great to get a better under the covers look with NIC, and I look forward to cooperating with you guys continuing in the future. To our audience out there, thank you. And to our audience out there, thank you again for supporting TechShack. Please continue to subscribe to us on YouTube, like, follow, and share us. We're on all the social media channels. We are getting somewhere with this. Some good news. We're looking at potentially our first funding for one of our guests on the show. So that's a real movement forward by a diaspora group. The second big thing is we're looking at working at ways to cooperate with the likes of NIC and build out something great that appeals to the diaspora and helps Pakistanis. So with that, thank you very much. Thank you, Fasieh. Thank you, Zainab. Allah Hafiz, everybody.